So my PhD is in economic history, and so perhaps I am more interested in history than other people, but I think in the case of instrumental variables, they have a particularly interesting history, so we'll just touch on it briefly here. It's only 2 paragraphs, so you can easily skip it if you're not interested. But there's a wonderful paper by Stock and Treby, and where they go over this history, and so I'm going to be taking some information from them, and I'll add that to the readings. Okay, so instrumental variables was first published in this book in the 1920s that is looking at the effect of tariffs on animal and vegetable oil, and so it's pretty remarkable, right? You spend all this time coming up with this wonderful statistical method, but in the end, you're just using it to look at the effect of tariffs. And so, not only that, but the wonderful statistical insight that you found is just relegated to an appendix. So Wright put this introduction to instrumental variables just in Appendix B. So it's sort of a little bit of a mystery as to why this fundamental sort of insight would be relegated to an appendix. So why did Wright need instrumental variables? Well, the issue is that if we have supply and demand, and for those of you who have done some economics, you know what I'm talking about. If we have supply and demand, then we don't know if it's supply that's being affected or demand that's being affected. All we know is various combinations of price and quantity that we have. And so we have a issue where it's not clear what is causing the change in the combination. So Matt Taddy has a really nice example where he talks about airline ticket prices. And so we notice that airline ticket prices increase in periods of high demand. And so is it that there is actually an upward sloping demand curve for airline ticket prices? Probably not. It's probably that there's other factors that are causing this. And so this is why Wright developed instrumental variables, because it allowed him to focus in on what the effect of the tariffs was. Was it supply? Was it demand? But I don't know about you, but if I made a major statistical breakthrough, I certainly wouldn't be hiding it in an appendix. And so that's slightly odd. The other slightly odd bit is that the author, so Philip Wright, the author had a son. And this son had a fair bit of expertise in statistics and the specific methods that are used in this appendix. And so there's been this ongoing sort of mystery as to, well, was it actually the father or was it the son who discovered instrumental variables? And so Stock and Treby have a very nice discussion of this mystery, and on balance they feel that it is probably actually the father that did do it, and perhaps he just didn't realize how insightful his Appendix B would actually become. If you want to have a look at Appendix B yourself, the book is available online. I'll add a link to it in the related readings. It's worth just having a quick look at it, especially if you've got some economics.